Whether you drive for Uber or Lyft, if you've been behind the wheel as a rideshare driver for any length of time, you've undoubtedly heard about or either been victimized by wrongful deactivations. What up, folks? Once again, it is your boy Tim with another ride-sharing video. Gonna talk about wrongful deactivations because here is an article providing advice on the best way to tackle being wrongfully deactivated and getting back on the road. Nevertheless, there's a host of advice we want to provide in addition to the article itself. Now, this comes from a Market Watch article titled, "Uber and Lyft drivers are kicked off the apps for minor reasons, but this can help them get back to work." Now, the article goes on to suggest the best way to get reinstated and get back driving again is to get the assistance of a third party. You know, they often say the man that represents himself has a fool for a client. That's what you hear in the legal world. So it does make sense that you have better odds when someone else is representing you. A host of reasons why, particularly having a witness, because Uber and Lyft oftentimes make it clear they don't give a damn about us drivers. But if you have someone representing you, now you have a witness to how shitty they're treating you. And if for some reason anything goes to court, now you have somebody else that may also be on your side, at the very least testifying against Uber, whether it's actually in court or through notarized documents. So having a third party represent you can get some attention from Uber or Lyft that maybe we need to get something done. People are paying attention to this person screaming out that they were wrongfully deactivated. So that does kind of make sense. However, I want to provide some advice before you go out and instantly get a third-party representative. And I understand the rideshare professor often talks about using QuickBooks or some other entity to help drivers get reinstated. Not necessarily a bad idea, but here's a little bit of advice. In regards to the article, it goes on to state, when drivers had representation, the median time they spent out of work was reduced from about 11 weeks to less than 6 weeks, the researchers found. Sounds good on its face. That's 5 less weeks you are out of work. Nevertheless, 11 weeks is almost 3 months. 6 weeks is a month and a half. This is why yours truly, I often suggest strongly that ride sharing should be a side hustle. You should have some other form of income. Ride sharing should not be your primary source of income. If you are an Uber or Lyft driver full time and this is your primary source of income, 11 weeks without earning anything could be devastating. Even 6 weeks that the article states, get a third-party representative, cut the time down to 6 weeks and you're back on the app. 6 weeks with no income for the typical American employee or independent contractor is enough to make you damn near start receiving eviction notices. That's a long time to go without an income because most of us are still paying notes on our cars. We don't own the vehicle, still pay. You don't make any money for 6 weeks, you don't even make your damn car note. So that's a long time, even with third-party representation. But I also wanted to point out a couple other things. First of all, I don't advise at 70, 80 cents a mile what Uber and Lyft is paying in most American markets, with the exception of a few markets like Seattle. Most markets paying less than 90 cents a mile. If you're going to fight for reinstatement to ride sharing, so that you can overturn a wrongful deactivation, I don't advise paying much money for it at all. In other words, hiring lawyers or something of that nature so you can get them to unblock you from the app. 90 cents a mile? How much money are you going to pay to get back to earning 90 cents a mile, 70 cents a mile in a hell of a lot of markets? As I state all the time, my market pays 72 cents a mile. How much am I supposed to pay any damn body to help me get back to earning 72 cents a mile? If the company you decide to get to represent you is not doing that shit for damn near free, it ain't worth it. Maybe getting deactivated from earning 72 cents a mile is actually a blessing in disguise. So understand that. May not be worth getting back on the damn app. As I stated before, currently in my market, no earnings guarantees, no streak bonuses or streak surge bonuses or surge pricing, whatever the hell it is. I haven't driven in 2 weeks. They're offering nothing but base fare, which is 72 cents a mile. I'm not going to drive for that. If I got deactivated right now, I could care less when they get me back on the app. If they made me wait 11 weeks, I don't think I'd give a damn. There's just no money to be made. It may be 11 weeks before I drive any damn way. So certainly be hesitant towards anybody asking you to pay them some type of money to help you get back on the app. It just isn't worth it. So just wanted to give that advice because there's a hell of a lot that goes on with being wrongfully deactivated. Now I'm going to do a follow-up video because in addition to getting wrongfully deactivated from the app for some of the most mundane bullshit reasons, racism is allegedly at play as well. That's not just an opinion, folks. That is from folks researching individuals that have been deactivated, and there is even a quote from the ride-sharing companies admitting that the research has shown that folks are getting deactivated and that they are actually working on it. It's a damn shame that even in ride-sharing, folks are facing racism and facing all types of discrimination, but it does seem to be happening, and the ride-sharing companies are acknowledging it. Nevertheless, wanted to bring this to you folks. Have any of you been wrongfully deactivated? I'm going to assume the answer is yes, but I want to find out, how did you get back on the app? How long did it take for you to get your ability to drive back? I got deactivated twice simply for them deciding to run a routine background check. I have no problem with that. I've never had any trouble with the law. But as opposed to them just running a background check, they suspend your ass while the check is running. And we've talked about Checkr, the company that does the background checks before. The shit is not done expeditiously. It can be quick for some and lengthy for others. And until they come back with a positive background check, you can't drive, even for a routine decision to check. I've been driving for damn near a decade. They decided after about 8 years, let's do another background check on him. And let's prevent him from earning any money while we're doing it. Took them, I believe, 2 or 3 months to get me back on. Fortunately, I had a day job. Didn't really matter. I just continued driving for Lyft while Uber had me down. But this happens to folks. So have you ever been deactivated wrongfully? If so, how long did it take to get on, and what the hell was the purpose of them deactivating you? Did you use a third party, someone to represent you? Let your boy know in the comments, because I'm curious, if somebody is wrongfully deactivated, who the hell would be a good individual or company to contact that is not very costly that could get them back driving again? Let your boy know in the comments. As always, subscribe to the damn channel. Click the like button. See you in the next video.